Okay, so hey everybody, welcome back to another game from the International Preliminaries. This is going to be Na'Vi versus TongFu. This is the second game of, again, the preliminary rounds. I'm Baseskip, excited to bring you guys more of the International, and always excited to get some more practice on my casting, which, as I think I evidenced in that last game, there's still a lot of room for me to improve. So we're going to be getting into the draft in just a second. Unfortunately, due to the nature of casting this as a replay, I'm going to know a couple of the picks and bans, but I won't act like my predictive skills are that great. Anyway, so Pudge is going to be the very first ban for TongFu, so a bit of a respect ban to Dendi, and it's like Pudge is not a silly hero in a competitive setting. If you can land a hook, which you should be if you're playing Pudge competitively, then that hero should be dead unless you have a whole bunch of really good stun and you coordinate it well, and unless you don't have a lot of stun that you can coordinate well, and the enemy team has a ton of mobility, so like the Quap, anti-mage, blinks, things like that, then maybe they can get away. But any hooked hero, any connected hook, should be a kill. The only issue with Pudge is just finding space for him to farm up a little bit. All he needs to do is find a few ranks of hook, a couple of ranks of rot, and roam and find kills. If he has a bad early game, then he's going to have a bad game, but overall he's not that strange a pick. Anyway, so Na'Vi are going to choose to ban the Syllabear and the Tidehunter, and Lycan's been banned by TongFu, but two bans left and still a ton of great heroes left in the pool. Most notably, I guess, the Naga Siren, the Darkseer, and the Nature's Prophet. Na'Vi probably, they don't have first pick, but if TongFu don't choose to ban one of those three remaining sort of power heroes, then they're only going to get one. Because if there are three left, then Na'Vi are not going to choose to ban one and only have 1/1. Well, I mean, you really want, if you're going to have the Naga Siren, having the Darkseer would be fantastic. Naga Siren plus Nature's Prophet, maybe not as good, but you can still set up a wombo combo lineup on the back of that. And so yeah, TongFu just considering this last ban. So if they ban one, then Na'Vi probably won't ban. Yeah, so Nature's Prophet is going to be the ban. So Na'Vi, there's not a huge motivation for them to ban the Naga Siren or the Darkseer if they want one of them. So Invoker's going to be the ban, another really strong hero. And I would expect to see TongFu take the Naga Siren. So Darkseer is going to be taken by Na'Vi. And from there, Na'Vi are just free to pick up whatever solid hero they want. The Shrek is there, the Sand King's there. Could opt for support, they could opt for the Chen, so Leshrac is going to be their pickup, and so we'll see what TongFu do in response. They've got the Naga Siren, so they should effectively run a wombo combo lineup. I mean, the Naga Siren ultimate, that Song of the Siren, is just a free sucker punch. It's effectively in a fight telling your opponent to hold still for 6 seconds while you wind up and figure out the best place to hit them. And so if you just pick up any AoE ultimates, you have perfect setup for them. So the Sand King Epicenter, it's not going to be cancelled. If you've got Enigma, if you've got, well, Tide's being banned, Thrall for me is always a fantastic choice against with the Naga Siren, because not only can you get the kinetic field on top of everyone and guarantee that connects so they're all zoned in one spot, but then with the storm on top, they're all silenced, they're all completely helpless, and it's a ton of damage as well. He's definitely a great hero. And I think the only abilities that can really, so Rubik and Chen actually going to pick up, so not very much AoE for TongFu just yet, but Chen, a good pickup, denies it to Na'Vi. And Rubik, good especially if Na'Vi choose to grab some more team fighty abilities of their own. Rubik can definitely fill in the wombo combo by grabbing, say, stealing vacuum, stealing the split earth, or stealing some of Leshrack's damaging abilities. And he's good counter wombo as well in terms of just having that null field and being able to turn their spells against them. So it'll be interesting to see what Navi choose to pick up. There's a lot of heroes still left in the pool that they really love to play. There's the Windrunner, there's Sand King. They could again go for a hard carry like they did last game. Naga Siren, she is a hard carry, but in a competitive setting, what we normally see her doing is maybe running in a tri-lane with something like an Ancient Apparition or a Leshrac. You've got the Net, which is fantastic as a setup stun for Cold Feet, Split Earth, what have you. And with Chen ganking from the jungle as well, should be able to get some kills and then get a few early game items up, maybe go for a bit of a push. But her role as a hard carry, you can sort of compare her to PL, and I think PL's popularity in competitive speaks volumes about how popular an illusion-based hard carry is. So we'll see how TongFu choose to play it. And so Navi are actually going to choose the Enigma, so they've got huge team fight right now, and it denies it to TongFu as well. None of this Song of the Siren into Enigma gets to pick his targets and then drop the black hole. So, but yeah, Navi are going to have scary team fight. The Darkseer and Enigma is always a combo that you have to watch out for. Vacuum and black hole, 5-man black hole, that's a team wipe. And so Sand King's going to be the ban for TongFu, afraid of even more damage on top of this team fight based lineup right now for Navi. And so Venomancer are going to be banned out as well. So Navi thinking that TongFu are still looking for a hard support, so Rubik more than likely going to be played in a farmier role, probably taking that solo mid. And TongFu probably still need to find an offlane solo to fit into their lineup. Rubik can do it, but he's better in the solo mid and doesn't really get farmed the same way that a Lone Druid or Lone Druid, Nature's Prophet, Windrunner, those sort of hard lane solos can actually still make the most out of that lane. But if TongFu opts for something like the Windrunner and then maybe a stun like the Ancient Apparition to set up with Naga Siren, then again they don't really have any AoE. And so Brewmaster is going to be the ban, even more team fight banned out against Navi. And so we'll see what Navi choose to ban. They don't have first pick, so maybe they choose to ban the Windrunner, that hard lane solo, since I would expect Chen to be in the safe jungle. He's okay as an aggressive jungler, but yeah, so Windrunner is going to be the ban. But yeah, Chen okay as an aggressive jungler, not as good as the Enchantress. Better to just sort of have him in the safe jungle where he can get some levels at the start and not be too worried, and then bring 2 creeps over and set up some ganks. And so we'll see what TongFu choose to grab. They've got the Naga Siren, but so I don't think they want, say so Lone Druid's actually being banned, so I'm rambling on about nothing, but it'll be interesting to see what they choose, because I think they still need more AoE to go with the Naga Siren, and they need someone to be sort of babysitting the Naga Siren as well. And so, well, where can they get their hard lane solo, and who's going to be their babysitter, and how is it going to synergize with the rest of their lineup? So Queen of Pain is going to be the pickup again, so that's probably going to be their hard lane solo. Maybe Rubik is going to take the support role, and Queen of Pain heads towards mid, something along those lines. But Quap can be fairly safe in the hard lane as well, so we'll have to see. And Navi, again, they could just go for another hard carry, but they're going to go for Puck this game, so even more AoE and team fight on top of what they've already got. And it's shaping up to be an exciting game. And the Queen of Pain pick again, it is helpful with the sort of wombo combo that I was talking about with Naga Siren. Sonic Wave, probably not quite the same as having a Ravage or a Black Hole or something like that, but still strong, and it means that she can get into a good position to land it on the majority of the Navi lineup. So Shadow Shaman's going to be the pickup, so he's probably going to be the hard support for the Naga Siren down in bot. And then Rubik mid, Queen of Pain top, and Chen in the jungle with Naga Siren bot. And Na'Vi, what are they going to choose to do? Maybe Darkseer on the hard lane. Leshrac probably taking that support role again, played by Artsart. Enigma played by Puppy in the jungle. Dendi again solo mid, and Phantom Assassin is actually going to be the last pickup for them. So one of the hardest of the hard carries, and that's going to be played by Havas. So sort of already run over who's playing what on Na'Vi, I feel. So Puppy, Enigma, Light of Heaven, Darkseer, Dendi on the puck, same as last game. Puppy on his, Enigma, I think I've already said that. And Havas going to be playing his usual hard carry role on the Phantom Assassin. Mu is going to be playing the Queen of Pain this game, same as last game. Kabu is going to be, no wait, Mu was Rubik last game, so Mu is now Queen of Pain. Kabu is going to be playing Rubik this game. Hao is going to be on the Naga Siren. Sancheng again on his hard support as the Shadow Shaman, and that leaves Awoke to play the Chen. And Na'Vi just immediately heading down into the Radiant jungle right now. And Light of Heaven, a lot of regen picked up for him, so more than likely going to be taking this hard lane solo and blocking off the pull as well. Artsart could stay down here as well to help him out. I mean, Havas is going to be up against... Actually, looks like he's going to be up against Kabu on top lane, so we'll see if they send a support up there to start. Yeah, and Sunshine just putting down a ward to try and help spot out TPs. And it's a good spot because normally that you sort of expect it to be over here, so if you place a sentry here to try and catch out this ward and maybe a ward over there, then you're not going to spot that. So a good word placement by Sancheng. And Kabu with some observer wards of his own, so maybe looking to block off the Na'Vi pull at some point, but we'll see what happens. And Dendi again going to be soloing up mid. Puppy just denying a creep to try and give him a little bit of advantage as well. And that first rune was illusions, so Awoke's grabbed that and has actually blocked sight down to that camp, so needs to move the illusion out of the way so he can dominate the Wildkin. Artsart just zoning Kabu out of this lane to start, and Havas is going to have a fantastic time up here. With 3 heroes down on bot, he's going to be getting really free farm if Artsart stays up here to keep babysitting him. And he's just going to keep pulling, so... and they've got their pull available while TongFu don't, so they're probably going to be falling a little bit behind in terms of experience for this game, and expect to see Sancheng a little bit more underleveled than Artsart. But how he's going to be doing fine as well. Sancheng's going to be able to keep Light of Heaven out of the lane, but Darkseer is a better hard lane solo than Rubik is, and just using that Ion Shell, especially against a melee carry trying to farm up, it's helpful, and he's going to be getting last hits unless Sancheng comes forward to try and get these denies. Hao is just not going to want to sacrifice his regen to tank that Ion Shell and grab denies. Kabu trying to move forward. Looks like he just wants to put down a ward, and well, where's he put down the first ward to? Put down 1 for sight, and maybe wants to block off the pull. I don't think support is going to be coming up here for a while until Mu starts getting some levels, and it looks like Dendi and Mu just trading blows on this middle lane. And Mu just the salve left. He's going to have his bottle in just a second. And Dendi salving up as well. And we'll just grab last hits and denies to start. Light of Heaven actually getting chased by Awoke. He's got a haste, but Light of Heaven should be fine to get out. But he's being completely pushed off bot. And likewise, Kabu's been pretty much completely pushed off top. He's still level 1. Gonna telekinesis onto Dendi, pulling him back. Still has the Illusory Orb. Phase shifts the Shadow Strike. and so he's going to be fine. His bottle is coming in as well. And Light of Heaven just actually going to switch over to the Dire jungle for a little bit. He's still level 1 as well, so both of these hard lanes getting pretty much completely shut down. And so How going to be getting free farm, and so is Havas, but we'll see what TongFu can do with it. I mean, both teams, they've got a jungler, they've got a carry free farming right now, and so we'll see who makes the first move. TongFu should be able to go for a push on bot, but Puppy's going to be coming out of the jungle as well with those Eidolons and going for a little bit of a push on top. TongFu probably a little bit more pushing power if Sansheng can get those wards up, but we'll see what happens. The Edict from Leshrac is going to be shredding towers as well, along with those Eidolons. And Kabu just getting chased down by Havas right now. Not going to dive it, just going to pop out that salve for health. And it's actually going to be cancelled, so Stifling Dagger. Kabu's just having an awful time on this top lane. We're almost 4 minutes in, and he is still level 1. It's not going to be fun. And the Darkseer's got better recovery from a bad start. I mean, he can already head into the jungle. He's doing just fine. He's already up to level 3. Kabu's just hiding in the trees. Level 1, no regen left. And Na'Vi just want to pull off this gank. They're smoked up. Kabu suspects that something is happening, but all he wants is just to get some XP. This tower might go down. And first blood on mid against Dendi. Base skip 2 for 2 in terms of missing first blood. That's embarrassing. Sorry, guys. Kabu just going to keep hiding. Looks like this tier 1 tower is going to go down on top. Come on, base skip, get it together. And Kabu's just going to have to keep hiding. He needs to wait till Na'Vi go away, and then maybe he can come out and start getting some XP, but he's been stuck in there for a while. Sansheng, hard support, ready a much higher level than the Rubik is. And Na'Vi are just probably going to keep pushing. They know that Kabu isn't a threat. And it looks like this tier 2 is going to be taking quite a bit of damage as well. And TongFu deciding to react. They're not going for a push of their own. They're pulling heroes off the bottom lane and coming up to try and slow down this push on top. So they don't want to trade just yet, but it leaves room for How to farm and helps slow down Havas just a little bit. But he's already doing quite well. 5 minutes in, phase boots. And yeah, so just those phase boots, but 31 lasted, so almost 6 creeps a minute. So hardly any issue farming for him up on this top lane. Dendi up to level 6, so is Mood, Dream Coil, and the Illusory Orb. Looks like Dendi's going to finish him off. Yep, one last right click. And so Dendi making up for that death. And big thing there, maybe Mood just not having enough to get off the Sonic Wave, not sure, but the thing is, he always needs to try and guess where Dendi is going to use the phase shift. If Dendi thinks he can survive a Scream of Pain and the damage from the Shadow Strike, then he's just going to tank it out. And Invis-Rune's going to spawn. Kabu's going to grab Dendi, but he's going to be absolutely fine. And pops off the Invis as well, so just going to stay safe. But Light of Heaven, little trip to the jungle, and now he's going to be fine on to sort of hold out this bottom lane. And again, what's Kabu doing? He's now up to level 3. He's picked up some boots, but Rubik on the hard lane against 3, he's just not had a good time at all, and it's going to take him a long time to get back into this game. And he can't even feel safe just moving forward to try and get some farm. He doesn't have a reliable escape like Windrunner or Darkseer or something like that. So, and if he goes mid, he's just going to be killed by Dendi. So a lane swap between Mu and Rubik probably not the best choice either. So he's just going to have to scrounge for what he can. Last hits denies. A little bit in favor of Mu on the middle lane right now, just because Dendi had to play safe until he picked up that kill. And Light of Heaven down on bot. Not doing too badly. Sansheng just off to the side. So kill potential there. Plenty of disable between the net, shackle, and the hex. So Light of Heaven just playing reasonably cautiously. And Havas just hiding back behind this tower. Opted for a fairly early game edit build. He's got the coup de grace now. Moo's gonna get silenced, but the Dream Coil Looks like it didn't quite connect. He's going to have Blink in a little bit, but the cooldown is still quite long. But no, dodges that stun. He's going to be fine. Naga Siren getting a kill down on bot, so Light of Heaven going down to that. And base skip #1 at missing kills, apparently. Looks like Navi's going to go for a bit of a push on this middle lane. And Awoke, he's been running around trying to help out. Sonic Wave's going to pop over the top. Artsart and Puppy taking a lot of damage, and so has Avos. He gets trapped next to the tower, goes down to the nuke from Awoke. And Hand of God popping as well, just to heal up those creeps. So it looks like Navi are going to back off for now. Dendi trying to find the 8-minute rune, but Artsart grabs it up on top. Doesn't want Moo getting it. And Moo just bottle crowing up a bit. Try and stay in control of the creep equilibrium on this middle lane. Hao farming well and level 6 on Sansheng, so they're going to be able to pick up this tier 1 tower for free, and 2.8k gold for Hao, so could actually opt for a Radiance build this game and get a lot of farm from it. Use those illusions to simultaneously farm lane and jungle, and could get big from it. Havas trying to go for a little bit of a gank and push on that middle lane, so probably needs to just try and sit back and farm for a bit. Still keeping close with Hao, but probably just going to be looking to enter farm mode for a little bit now. Get towards maybe his Vanguard or Battle Fury, something like that. Kabud now level 5, so 10 minutes in, still not quite there. Artsai gets revealed off, and they really needed Puppy to be the first one there with the Malefice done. But looks like they're just going to go for another push on this top tier 2. And try and force a reaction from TongFu. Hao almost up to 3k gold on him, so he is farming extremely well. But it's going to be interesting to see what he opts for. Could go for the Radiance, but doesn't really have the health to start. Really needing something like a Vanguard or even just a naked Vit booster on that Naga Siren to have the survivability. But the sooner he can get to the Relic, the better, before these ganks start connecting from Na'Vi. And Kabu finally level 6 up on this top lane, so big jump in effectiveness for him. Awoke just going to be sitting in the jungle for now, and really wants to get his mech within the next few minutes. Ah, Skeleton denies the rune. Dendi really wanted that, but well microed by Awoke. Light of Heaven continuing to jungle up. Again, similar to Kabu, not having the best of games, but recovering slightly better from it. Already level 7, has his Soul Ring, and almost to a Vanguard as well. Just another 600 gold for him. Kabu's picked up some mana boots. But yeah, he's still hurting from that start. But TongFu are in a great position right now. 2k gold, the advantage to them. No, 1k gold, 2k experience. And a lot of that probably just coming from Awoke jungling up while Puppy was pushing towers. And Puppy's been roaming around trying to find kills for a little bit. Kabu's stolen Illusory Orb, and Dream Coil goes down. Moo and Kabu both get hit. Puppy gets stunned up. Black Hole on 2. Awoke and Moo in big trouble right now. The stun as well. Awoke, Moo both go down. 2 kills for Na'Vi. Dendi up onto the high ground. And Na'Vi probably going to go for a tier 1 push right now, but the tier 2 on bot going down to Hao and Sansheng. Are they going to be able to grab this tier 1? And what is Hao going to be going for? 4.1k gold for him. He is extremely rich. Fortification pops over on mid. Does grab that relic. And so, just switch over to net worth for now. Light of Heaven trying to slow down on bot. Havas in the jungle. There's no real lane for him to farm right now. Top's being pushed out quite a bit. Bot would be nice and safe, but they're still trying to get a little bit more farm onto Light of Heaven. And he's going to have his Vanguard in a sec, so gonna be happy about that. And Sansheng, despite this pull being blocked, he still found plenty of XP and found that kill on Light of Heaven as well. So not having a bad game. I thought that Artsart was gonna have a better time, but Sansheng, well, it's about equal. They're both just about to hit level 7. Artsart maybe a little bit less farmed. No, actually, Artsart a little bit more. Well, 100 gold in it. We'll call it even. Dendi on mid lane, just farming up again. Still a death to his name. Gonna harass back Mu a bit, but both teams fairly happy to just farm for a little bit now. It's really Naga Siren up against where are you, Havas? There you are. So he's got 1.4k gold. Picked up a wand as well, so still plenty of early game items for him. We'll see what his first big item is going to be. Maybe a Vanguard, maybe a BKB, maybe just go for a Battle Fury and try and turtle up and farm. But with this Rasta and the Chen, they're putting a lot of pressure on these towers. So it looks like TongFu might be able to grab this tier 1 on mid. 3 heroes formed up for Na'Vi, but Puppey just over on this ancient camp right now. And does he have the black hole? Tower goes down on mid. So TongFu looks like they're just going to keep pushing. Avas is going to keep farming up on top lane for now. Has a TP, so can join the fight at any time. Looks like Na'Vi are going to try and hold this out, but see if they can do it without bringing anyone back. But Puppey gets grabbed back to telekinesis. Nobody in position to stop him. Hand of God pops. Mu in from the side, just trying to harass down Artsart. He's picked up a point booster, but no real indication of what he's going for just yet. And TongFu opting to back off for now. Havas threatening to push on that top tier 2. It's already on half health, so could have gone down fairly quickly. And happy to back off until Hao has his Radiance and maybe a little bit of survivability on top of that as well. Puppey getting close to his mech. What else? Awoke. Similar story for him. And TongFu, just look at this Naga Siren. So rich right now. It's absolutely great. TongFu, yeah, well, Na'Vi, they got dragged around the map trying to push, and meanwhile Hao is just free farming on that bottom lane. And Havas moving around trying to get a bit of ganking going, so he's trying to catch up in terms of farm right now. Not that far behind, but those tower kills on Hao have been a big help. And he's got the Radiance up now, so that's really going to accelerate his farm. It's similar to getting the Battle Fury on the Anti-Mage. You can clean out the jungle really quickly, you can farm the lane extremely quickly as well, and now tankier items are going to start coming up. Maybe just some treads. Could even start just heading straight towards a heart. Make those illusions super tanky. Ensure that the Radiance Burn is doing as much damage against Na'Vi as it can. Puppey, Malva stun onto Mu. Light of Heaven moving forward as well, but he's gonna be fine. Bottom tier 1 taking a bit of damage, and just Dendi tanking the creeps while Edict damage goes onto the tower. TP coming in towards mid. Puppey needs to be careful. Mu wants him. And Blink and Shadow Strike going to be up in just a second. Yep, goes forward, uses the Scream of Pain. Havas grabs back. Kabu, Sansheng using the shackles onto Havas, but standing right next to an Ion Shell. And Kabu with the stolen Phantom Strike, so he's going to be fine. A kill either way. And the tier 1 tower fell on bot as well, so not a bad exchange for Na'Vi. Voss up to 1.2k, has Perseverance, so it looks like he's just going to be heading towards a Battle Fury, and that's going to help him equal the farm of this Naga Siren, though she does definitely have a head start in terms of getting these farm accelerating items up earlier. Just taking a bit of a tour through the TongFu jungle. Put down a whole bunch of wards, just trying to keep an eye on what's going on and maybe get some pickoffs. Similar story for TongFu. Both teams are playing an extremely similar game right now. I mean, 4 for 4, a little bit of, XP in favor of the Dire, but gold in favor of the Radiant, and it is pretty much neck and neck right now. Team fights and ganks are really going to decide how this game goes. And again, these carries are the big ones to watch. Whether they die in team fights, whether they're able to pick up last hits on towers and heroes, are going to be really game changing. And TongFu are just going to form up again for another push. 3 Dark Troll Warlords. Look at that skeleton army. It's going to be cleaned up by the Illusory Orb, but doing a lot of damage. And should be more skeletons coming up in just a second. Yep, TongFu looks like they still just want to push this. And with that Radiance up, able to send the illusions forward and keep Na'Vi out of the way. Looks like they're going to be able to grab this tier 2 as well. Na'Vi, they just want to wait for farm. Yeah, and going to clean out that creep wave. And Havas is just going to keep farming on top. So TongFu grab the tier 2 on mid. Mu gets that last hit. What's he heading towards? 2.5k and has a point booster, so could still go for a Scythe of Ice at this point, or maybe just opts for the Aghanims. The Aghanims would be fairly early. He's still got 5 levels to before he really makes the most out of that cooldown reduction. So maybe just looking to grab something else if he can, but could just sit on top of the gold, see how his game plays out, and by the time he gets to level 16, if he's not close to a different big item, just go for the Aghs. Puppey has the mech up, and there's the potential for them to go for a Roshan right now. Yep, gonna remove the spell block, and Puppey probably just gonna be looking to drag some Eidolons over to the pit. But yeah, Na'Vi, 4 heroes in the pit. Eidolon's gonna come over, but they're not gonna be oh no. Edict damage is worn off, so it's gonna take them a little bit to finish this off, and TongFu are moving into position with a smoke. They've got the song as well to set this up perfectly. Everybody down into the pit. Wards block off the entrance. It's going to be hard for Na'Vi to get out of this. And Kabu telekinesis onto Dendi. Does not want him to get at the wall there. But the black hole! TongFu get 4 stuck, and Na'Vi 4 kills onto TongFu. Moves stuck in the pit. All of Na'Vi still up. Perfect setup for TongFu, but the team fight of Na'Vi just too strong. And they're just going to go straight back to the Roshan. They don't care. The Song of the Siren almost working against them there, giving Na'Vi time to just plan exactly what they were going to do, and vacuuming everyone into this corner, and then black hole on top of it. There was just no fighting that, and that's what happens when you have a Naga Siren on your team, and then I guess when you have a Naga Siren on the enemy team as well, when you've got as much team fight as Na'Vi do. And Rubik actually Kabu picking up a kill out over on mid. So base kit missing more kills. I can't believe this. It's not my day at all, guys. Sorry. Puppies picked up a blink. And game's still really even, but that team fight extremely decisive for Na'Vi. They've really pushed out that XP advantage. And again, a lot of this is just gonna be Light of Heaven able to recover so much better from having a hard time on the top lane. Kabu's level 10. Light of Heaven getting a lot of XP from that multi-kill just in the Roshan pit, but definitely able to recover faster than the Rubik. And we'll just switch back to net worth for now. And TongFu, they're all grouped up. How finish up those treads, but still reasonably squishy. 1.1k HP, and needs to be careful. The illusions aren't doing a whole lot against the ridiculous team fight from Na'Vi. But illusions moving all over, trying to get some sight going. Havas finished up his Battle Fear. He's got the Aegis as well, so just gonna clean up these Chen creeps. And a Vlad's as well picked up on him, so gonna be farming quite well from here on out. And the Naga Siren, I mean, she's got the Radiance, but she needs to survive these team fights to get the damage off from it. I feel like TongFu picked it because they just didn't want Na'Vi to have it, and it made its way through the pool. But their team synergy with it, aside from the pushing power, the Song of the Siren just isn't really being used to set up these team fights, like we saw in that engage in the Roshan pit. And middle tower going down. I start picking up that tier 1. Wards are down, but TongFu not wanting to fight at them just yet. And all of Na'Vi moving into position. Havas continues to jungle up, and he's eclipsed How in farm right now, so probably going to be looking to keep pushing out that lead. And TongFu, they're the ones trying to make the action happen right now, and it's hurting them in terms of XP and gold. While you're grouped up as 5, you're just not getting farm, you're not getting XP. And Na'Vi are more than happy to take engagements once they come to the tower, and they're forced to react and move into position. And it means that Havas is just going to keep farming. And so How going to keep trying to use the illusions, but hasn't had that much farming time in a little bit. 2.3k gold up on him, so he's fairly rich. Interesting to see what he's going to opt for in this game. Probably just needs more health. He could opt towards a Manta style. Ultimate Orb helping a little bit in terms of health, but he's just gonna get exploded in these fights. And Dendi hiding all the way up in the corner of the map. Has the TP, so not gonna be too worried about hanging out here for now. But it's gonna go straight into throws the Illusory Orb, but decides to stay there. And does actually just TP over to mid. And Havas with a DD rune, he's going to be critting for a lot if they can make something of it, but not really in any position to fight just yet. All of TongFu heading back into their base right now. And what is Havas going for? BKB, so good teamfight item for him. And how quickly is going to have that up? Is there anything on the courier for him? Not really, so probably looking to grab that just before the end of this Aegis duration, and then maybe Navi looking to make it go from that. What's he heading towards? Picked up the Ultimate Orb, so looks like he is going to be heading towards that. Probably heading towards a Manta style, but Ultimate Orb does help him in terms of tanking up just a little bit. Navi forming up towards middle lane. They've got all their cooldowns back up, so they can take a head-on teamfight. So they're going to be more than happy to push. So we'll see what TongFu do. How just moving into the dire jungle. Wants to keep farming. Knows that he needs to try and keep pace with Havas. And I really just think that the Phantom Assassin is going to be doing more with the farm. Just the items that are available. Just get plus damage, get big crits. While trying to get more illusions, maybe heading towards that Manta, but I feel like they're just going to be wiped out in these fights, and so unless they can take a team fight where they're definitely on the front foot and picking heroes off one by one, they're going to need to be really careful. Woke continuing to jungle up. He's finished up his mech. Probably had that for a while. Kabu picked up that 4-stick earlier. Sancheng still just buying wards, so mana boots and a bracer plus a wand for him. How continues to farm 1500 gold, so if he's going for that Manta, should have it fairly soon. But how is the BKB going for Havas? He's going to actually have that fairly soon. TP's towards mid, but just farming all over the map for him right now. How a little bit further ahead right now in terms of net worth, but they're staying neck and neck. But again, I really think the PA just does more with it. And the team fights are definitely bigger for Na'Vi, and Blink Dagger on Light of Heaven, so just looking to get huge initiation between the Blink Black Hole and the Blink Vacuum. These team fights are going to be extremely scary for TongFu. Do they have a pipe picked up anywhere? So there's the Aghanims on Queen of Pain. Still little way off, level 16, but should be there quite soon. But yeah, do TongFu have a pipe? No, they don't. They've got the mech, and they've got the Hand of God as well, so helpful to deal with all of the AoE damage that's coming their way, and points in the null field are going to start helping out as well, but there's just so much AoE damage on Na'Vi, and if they land that vacuum into Black Hole, then the team fight's done. It's just TongFu need to be so ridiculously careful with their positioning. I mean, the Song of the Siren's a good way to reset, but if Nugget gets grabbed in any of these long disable chains, it's going to be unlikely that she's going to get it off. And even if she does, she's going to be low enough on health that the TongFu's just going to have to back off. How continues to farm. What's he picked up? Yasha, so he'll be to his Manta in just a second. Yeah, we'll have it soon. Just trying to farm with the illusions some more. But Navi, Havas, does he almost have his BKB? Yes, he does. Mithril Hammer and the recipe. Just another couple hundred gold. And they're going to have that BKB and the Aegis. Perfect time for them to go for a push, along with all of their ultimates. More than likely going to be off cooldown. But yeah, teams neck and neck, half farming slightly better for now, but just they need to be so careful. And Havas does. Oh, I guess the courier's net worth doesn't count doesn't count here. So let's see, when he picks up the BKB, does his net worth spike? Yeah, it does. So I guess items that you own but you don't have in your stash or your inventory don't count towards your net worth. So no, he's actually the most farmed hero on the map right now. Moo's gonna want to try and grab that level 16 before the next engagement, but Na'Vi are in a fantastic position to go for right now. Maybe just wait for that Dream Coil cooldown and then force a little bit of a push. Actually no, Roshan's gonna be up, so they don't have very long on that Aegis. And Moo just trying to hide up in the trees, but Dendi's gonna spot him out. And Moo has a TP, but tree's cut down by Puppey. Gets silenced, still has a blink, maybe just TP out right now, yep. So Puppey's gonna look for it. Is he gonna get the Malphus stun? No, not quite. Just coming off cooldown just then. But Kvass gonna continue to farm, probably just gonna wait for this Roshan to come up. And TongFu we're gonna know about it as well, so next big engagement probably gonna be at the Roshan pit, but TongFu need to pick off beforehand. Again, we saw that TongFu had perfect initiation for that last fight. They had the Song of the Siren, they all stood exactly where they wanted to stand at the start of that fight, and then they immediately all got vacuumed into a black hole and died. It was horrific. But, so if they want to go for this Roshan, they need to try and get maybe a smoke gank and a pick off beforehand. They can't take a head-on engagement in this confined space. And Hand of God pops to try and keep Moo alive. Is he going to be able to dodge that Lucifer? Yes, he is, but Dendi can see him. One more right click. Kvass actually picking up the kill. And Roshan is up. So a pick off for Na'Vi, and it looks like they're just going to be able to get this Roshan for free. Does Moo have a buyback? No, he does not. He's picked up an ultimate orb, so looking to head towards that scythe device right now. But Kvass is just getting more and more and more farmed, and he's still got that 10-second duration BKB. So if they get that Aegis, the team fight right after that is going to be really catastrophic. I don't think TongFu can defend this. Na'Vi are going to get this really quickly, and it's going to be another Aegis up on Kvass. Maybe send the Chen creeps, maybe try and deny Aegis. Come on, Skeletons, you got the rune before, can you do it again? But no, it's going to be a really quick Aegis. Well, really quick Roshan going down for Na'Vi, and no contest from TongFu. And Aegis up now, they've got all of their big cooldowns, Dream Coil up in 10 seconds, so Na'Vi are going to be more than happy to go for a push. And Kvass not going to have another big item up for a little bit, so this is really the time for them to go. Yeah, TP out by Sunshine, just down there. Moo, gonna go on Dendi. Dendi needs to be careful, has a Yules. Just gonna TP out, actually. Moo, oh, it's Sonic Wave, but the phase shift dodges it. And Dendi gonna be fine to get out. Top tower going down. How grabbing that? Has the Manta style, so his pushing potential is through the roof. But again, he's still fairly squishy in the AoE teamfight on Na'Vi. Yeah, Hao's just gonna keep pushing. Na'Vi form up. They want bot. Are they gonna send anyone back just yet? Maybe. Yeah. So Puppey's gonna head back, scare off Hao. Tier 2 should go down just with 4 heroes from Na'Vi. TongFu say they still just want to stay up here, and Puppey blinking backwards needs to be careful. Looks like TongFu might get this Tier 3 on top. Tier 2 goes down. RTP is going to start coming back. Tier 3 more than likely going to go. Fortifications already down. Moo just going to finish that off. Does do so. And just going to blink away to safety. So not a bad trade at all for TongFu. Picked up a Tier 3 in exchange for a Tier 2, but unless they go high ground with a couple of Na'Vi heroes dead, again, they just need pickoffs. They can't take these head-on team fights. So yeah, they need to play smart. They need to split push. They need to go for ganks. Use the long disable that they have on the roster, and if they can get a kill on one of the big team fight heroes, maybe Puppey or Light of Heaven, so the Enigma, or the Darkseer, then they can go for a push. And there's no Tier 2s left for them to take either, so... And Roshan's not going to be up for a while, so their goal needs to be get a lane pushed out, get a kill, and then go for the high ground. And Hao, he's actually got 3.2k up, so he's going to be looking to get another big item soon. Could pick up a Reaver if he wants to go towards a heart. but we'll see what he opts for right now. But Navi, they're smoked up, they're heading towards mid, they've got the ultimates up, they've got the Aegis, using Havas as bait, they're fine with him dying once. He's got the BKB, Kaz Demon Edge, he is going to be critting for a lot of damage. Kabu moves forward, has the, what is that called? Phantom Strike. I do not play PA, and you can probably tell. And Moo's just going to keep pushing up on top. This tower being down is fairly dangerous. Dendi Yules onto Moo's. Going to have the blink up in just a second, but gets silenced straight out of the Yules. But should be fine to get out. Pops the Dream Coil as well. Gets stunned, but should be fine to TP right now. Waning Rift, not going to be off cooldown in time. But Navi back off, so pressure well placed by Moo. Forcing everybody back. And looks like TongFu maybe want to go on the aggressive right now. Diffusal Blade actually picked up by Hao, so hoping that he can hide behind the illusions and get as much damage as possible. But again, they need a rolling team fight. They don't need 5 heroes butting heads and AoE ultimates getting dropped off everywhere. Kabu, if he can steal Black Hole, then the team fight could, you know, go completely the other way. And it's great. If he can stay outside, then Enigma's stuck in the channeling duration for the duration of stuck channeling for the duration of the Black Hole. So it's a fairly easy ultimate to steal. And it's maybe why Puppy is trying to be a little bit more cautious about these Black Holes, making sure that he can catch Kabu in them so that they don't get stolen. And TongFu, here we go. This is the smoke gank. Tier 3 is down on top. It should be pushed out a little bit soon, but they need to pick off, and all of Navi are just on mid and bot. And Moo gonna be revealed off, the smoke just running out of duration, so he's gonna be pushing. And uses the ultimate as well. Level 16, so cooldown not actually getting reduced. If you use it and then you rank up, you still maintain the cooldown. How? Trying to defend mid lane. And Navi, they want this. There's no fortification, so tier 2 for them. And TongFu, they need to defend. Still only rank 1 Serpent Wards on Shang, so not a great spot to defend from. And Havas still has that Aegis. Navi are definitely going to want to try and make something of this, but Moo, he's going to try and put pressure up on top again. See if he can pull Navi back. Navi do actually choose to back off for now. And they've still got a while left with that Aegis, but we'll see if they just try and hold out until another team fight in the Roshan pit. And they could easily take it, but yeah, Moo doing so well. Oh, Dream Coil almost canceling that TP, and Moo probably would have been in big trouble after that. But yeah, again, Queen of Pain split pushes, forces Navi to back off. They want to fight as 5, but TongFu denying them the opportunity. They realize that they can't take these engagements head on. And Hao continuing to farm. Diffusal Blade up on him. A little bit of survivability, and he is going to be an absolute beast in these team fights. And the team fights don't necessarily even need to happen. Again, pickoffs should really be TongFu's goal right now. And Kabu trying to get... We'll see what he heads towards. Almost 2.1, so maybe... Well, pickoff going to be happening here on Shang. Drops the wards, but grabs Light of Heaven. They're just going to farm those up. But Moo's going to head immediately up towards his top lane again. Just wants to try and drag Navi back. And Hao is split pushing bot as well. Looks like this tier 3 is going to go down. And Navi, they're dragged back again. But Silence, Hao, more than happy to pop the Song of the Siren and just TP his way back to base. Navi, 4 heroes on mid, but Dendi's not going to be there. And Moo's just going to keep putting pressure on top. So Dendi to defend, but here we go. Kabu, Maleficent stun on him. He's going to be sent back to base by Chen. Are they going to get him out in time? Yes, they will. Hand of God pops. And Moo's just going for the tier 3 tower. Dire Structure's fortified. Dendi pops, trying to scare off Moo. Havas still wants to use that Aegis. How long does he have left? Still a few minutes. So Navi really want to go for this, but Puppy does not want to give away the Black Hole. He has the BKB, but Rubik can still just steal straight through it. So Kabu's positioning going to be absolutely huge for this. Well, needs to be great for this next fight. And he's got a blink as well. Driving Navi back. Stun on Havas. He's going to be grabbed back as well. And yep, here's the Aegis pop. Are they going to go for something, or is he just going to Phantom Strike to safety? Phantom Strike's onto Puppy. So Na'Vi choosing not to go for anything, and the Aegis down means that they don't have the advantage that they would have wanted in this team fight. Dendi's heading back in. Mu is back, so it's looks like it's going to be a 5v5 engagement right now. But TongFu, they've got the high ground, they've got an advantageous position, and maybe Na'Vi just back off until the next Roshan. They can take a fight in the confined spaces of the Roshan pit, but going up onto the high ground is definitely dangerous for them. They've still got this double blink. They've got the blink, black hole and vacuum. So we'll see if they can just pull that off. Sancheng completely hiding off to the side, wants to see if he can try and cancel something. Not going to be able to grab Puppy. He's got that BKB, but yeah, it looks like Na'Vi are just going to back off for now. Roshan going to be up in a minute. How long? Yeah, just about a minute, so that's probably what Na'Vi are just waiting for right now. And an Invis run up as well, so could be big. Maybe put it on the Enigma and just hide him now, so Havas we'll just grab it. He's picked up a Monkey King bar, so another big item for him. But with that Aegis, his inventory gonna start to look a little bit full, so that's probably getting close to, well, not getting close to PA's peak, but really where Na'Vi are going to want to go and just do the same thing again. And Mu now has that Scythe device. And he's going to get in position to push out this top lane again. They know that the Roshan is going to be up in a second, and they know that Na'Vi want it, but they're just going to push top. And so Na'Vi, they're smoked up. They're trying to see if TongFu are going to defend, but TongFu just say, no, we're not going to take the 5-man. We're not going to take the full-on engagement. We're just going to come and push top, you know, come and stop us. So Na'Vi, it's really going to come down to if they want to. Well, no, they're not going to gamble. Roshan's not even up yet, and they still need to get through all of his HP. So they're just going to be moving into position up on top, try and force a team fight. Well, at least try and stop this push. Both teams just maneuvering around each other so well. Na'Vi want the Roshan. They expect TongFu might try and stop them. TongFu said no, we're going to push top. Na'Vi forced to back off and come and try and stop this push, and now TongFu are going to retreat. Both teams are playing fantastically. Just going to have a quick glance at the XP and gold. So XP heavily in favor of the Dire right now. These Kabu and Sangsheng still fairly under-leveled, but only 2k the gold difference. So both teams doing quite well, and it's still extremely close. It's gonna come down to a team fight. Roshan's there. Dendi moves forward with the initiate onto Mu. Looks like he might go down here. Oh, it's gonna be big. Hand of God pops. Try and keep him alive. Gets the blink out. Well played by TongFu. Light of Heaven still wants him. Vacuum down onto the low ground. Does not find Mu. Has that haster, and he's gonna be fine to get out. Still chasing, but he's got the blink. And he's just gonna head up to top. And Hao is just pushing bot again. Split push by TongFu. Dendi forced back to try and react, and Na'Vi, they get denied their mid push again. Just gonna TP back. And the Roshan is up, but that is him gonna be able to go for it. Hao doesn't have enough mana for the ultimate, and just gonna go for the Rax. He's gonna be able to get it as well. No, illusions all go down and does get picked off. Oh, not quite enough mana for the song and a TP. Oh, it's a big pickup for Na'Vi, but they're not going to be able to do too much with it. Maybe they can just go for the Roshan, but Hao is extremely rich. He's got 5k gold, so if Na'Vi go for this, he can still buy back. And Light of Heaven does just pick up an Aghanim, so their team fight is just escalating, but not, well, TongFu, they just don't want to take it. They've got 2 exposed racks to go for right now, so if creeps push in either lane, they can have heroes going on either of them. Na'Vi are going to be able to pick up this Roshan, Hao not wanting to buy back, and so the Aegis that they wanted there. Kabu in trouble on mid lane right now, gets forced that forward, stuck in the Midnight Pulse, and he's probably going to go down right now. Yeah, just trying to buy as much time as he possibly can. Actually, is he going to go down? Oh, the Stifling Dagger, almost to that blink, but not able to make it out. And Mu, again, he's just gonna keep pushing. Maybe Na'Vi just need to start maybe looking for looking for sides of ice and orchids or something like that. Something to stop Mu just doing the split pushing that he's doing so well. And how now he has that heart, so he is looking really beefy. Mu actually in trouble, gonna keep blinking and gonna try and TP out right now. Dendi, is he gonna find him in time? Oh, gets the sight and the Yules. Mu gonna go down, maybe keeps blinking. Dendi with the blink. Havas is in here, but no sight on Mu just yet. Has another blink. What's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? Spots out Mu. Mu has the blink, goes down, but Havas is waiting for him, gets a big crit, and Sonic Wave over the top, but Mu's gonna go down here. Hand of God pops. Another blink, not maybe expecting to survive, didn't keep walking and just popping off the bottle charge, but Na'Vi, they're finding pickoffs exactly where they need it. And now they can farm up and push. There's not going to be any split push from Mu. How is going to send these illusions down to bot. But Artart's going to be there to try and hold it off. Na'Vi, they still got a tower to push through on top, and the mid lane is pushed out a little bit. Artart going to do what he can to try and hold this off, but Na'Vi, they're going to be forced back again. Leaving 3 heroes here, 2 to defend the base. Trying to force Hat to decide what they're going to do. They're going to TP back. Both teams going to back off. Kabu with the blink forward. Does manage to grab Puppy. Looks like he might be picked off here. BKB up. Still has the black hole. Doesn't want to use it. How? Getting right click down by Havas. And here's the black hole. Kabu stuck in it. There is not going to be any steal. Yules on him. And blink forward by Havas. Awoke. In trouble. Sonic Wave over the top. Mu. Going to pick off Puppy with that Sonic Wave. Dendi is a sheep, but still has so much mobility, and 3 deaths right now for Na'Vi. Oh, it's so tense. Oh, almost a one-shot crit. Sencheng popping that Ghost Scepter. Is he going to be able to survive? No ward trap. One last right click. Na'Vi until Dendi in the middle of this. Gonna head, and there's the GG called. Oh, what a tense game. Oh my lord, it was just... It could have gone either way up until 5 minutes ago. Once that pickoff on How happened, and then the same on Mu, they just... TongFu couldn't keep doing what they were doing. And more kills flying around right now, but GG's being called. Mu probably going to pick off Light of Heaven right now. Yeah, does manage to do so, and Havas just going to go for the right clicks, but Mu able to blink out. But GG's being called, yep, so there we go. And everybody is going to disconnect out, so what an exceptional game, despite Baseskip missing so many kills. That's embarrassing. Apologies for that. But it was absolutely fantastic to watch. It went back and forth, both carries getting so farmed, both teams maneuvering around one another so well, but in the end, the game does go to Na'Vi. So just gonna wait for the final score screen right now. Are they gonna force the victory? Maybe. Just waiting. Everyone in TongFu is disconnected, so I will just wait for the final score screen for the sake of the VODs. But yeah, really well played by Na'Vi. And come on, how much longer we got? There we go. So Na'Vi. So this has been another set from the International Preliminaries. I've been Baseskip. It's been an absolute pleasure to bring you these games. Thanks for tuning in, anyone who has. As always, feedback is very much appreciated on my casting. I'm still finding my feet in terms of all of this. So looking forward to maybe seeing some of you again, and thanks for tuning in.